Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. So we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about the mind of the narcissist, how it relates to a child's mind. I'm a teacher. I'm going to tell you about my day and how it relates to narcissism. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about this trauma bond that happens. Why is it so addictive to where we constantly are thinking about our narcissist, or you just keep popping into our mind? So my day at school starts out, little girl's crying in the hallway. She's kind of shying away, hiding. And that's what our narcissist does. If something's wrong, they shy away. And this is to get us to understand this mindset of the narcissist. They are like a child. So she's shutting down. That's what our narcissist does. Something bothered her. And she's probably 6 to 8 years old. I can't remember what grade she's in. So she's just kind of shying away and she's upset. You can tell she's upset. I try to talk to her. I'm her art teacher. So I'm trying to, we have a good rapport. She's always silly, pretends to be my shadow. So we're pretty close. I think she's 8 years old, to be honest with you. So we should have a rapport. And she's so silly with me. I'm the one she follows around. We laugh, we giggle. Seems like I'm one of the favorite teachers. So why not? I sit there and try to talk to her, try to connect with her. She doesn't want the connection. She's dealing with her emotions. So I hear her mom works at the school, and her mom was saying, look, you got to do your job. Crying is not going to help. Go back to your classroom. So I'm not saying this kid has issues or not. It's still too young to tell. The mom has to work. It's time for the girl to go to her classroom, and she's out in the hallway crying. So she started to cry as soon as the mom said, you got to go back to the classroom. So that's when the emotions come out. So she's told no, like, this isn't the time. She doesn't like that. Our narcissist doesn't like when we tell them something needs to be dealt with, or we committed to this, we're going to do it, whatever it is. They don't like it. Just like a child doesn't like it. So she starts crying. That's similar to, she handled it pretty good. She just cried. We all have emotions, but the outpouring of emotions when she's told to go do something she doesn't want to do. That's where the narcissistic rage comes in. Either they cry, they yell back, they throw fits. It's similar to how the child act. She shut down. She was told no, get back on track. So the outbursts of emotions, hers weren't extreme, but just like our narcissists, sometimes they're extreme, sometimes they're not. So throughout the day, I go to class, and I have the kindergartners. I earned my money today. One's just tearing up the crayons, taking all the paper, making a huge mess because he's bored. It's kind of what narcissists do. Some of them are extremely messy. They're preoccupied with being within their own body, not paying attention to the surroundings, don't care about the surroundings. So some narcissists are quite messy. They're either super clean or quite messy. And of course, there's going to be variations in between, but mine were very extra clean. So they can go either way. But this kid was on, making a mess. Some narcissists don't give a crap. Who cares what other people think? Who cares whose property this is? And some narcissists are quite destructive. They'll vandalize because it's funny. They don't think about the financial costs that it happens to other people, the disruption in the business, a change in their reputation. If they got swear words all over, people aren't going to want to bring their kids up to that shop. Just the implications. So dismissive of other people's property. And so then I'm focused, and this is a key thing. When I'm focused on the group, it runs really good. But I had to do this one project where I'm tracing their hands. So I had to do student by student. So I put on a movie for them to entertain them. It's like an art movie. And I'm going around tracing the kids because you can't be responsible enough with a Sharpie. They write all over themselves, all over their clothes. And Crayola markers, I don't know why, they did not wash off. So I'm trying to wash them off. My hands got stained. So I'm tracing their hands. And when it's in a group, it's a little easier. But when you're dealing with one-on-one, they start doing whatever they want to do. It was terrible. It's kind of like they say, when the cat's away, the mice will play. So when they're honed in and the authority figure is over them, and that's kind of like when we're in a committed relationship, they see us as like telling them what they have to do. So they're going to stay in line until we turn our head. And that's when they're going to cheat, they're going to drink, they're going to smoke pot, whatever it is they're going to do that we didn't agree to. So, and that's up to you guys what you agree to. But I turn away and they do whatever they want. They're in the calm down corner, which is full of toys and blanket, and it's supposed to be only if they have a breakdown, but like 3 of them are in there. They're not supposed to be in there. They know they need to ask permission. Another one is crumpling up the paper from some other kid, throwing it in the waste basket. It's special paper that I need for this project that they're going to screen print onto things. So they're wasting my paper, and it's like from a different place. Like I can't just replace it. So they're destructive on the property. They don't care what the other kid thinks. They're writing on each other's things. Crayons are being thrown all over. They're just so disorderly. Now, our narcissist is kind of like that. And that's that childlike mentality. When the partner is away, they're going to just disrupt everything. I had it yesterday where I sat on the table because one kid was just, the 2 kids were talking and something about some cute boy or whatever it was. So I sit on the table and I'm being a little silly, just pretending to listen in. So of course they follow suit, and they're not supposed to get out of their seat. I'm the teacher. Maybe I should have done that, but I was trying to make a point, like, you're talking. So I sat on their table, and narcissists will follow suit. That's why when they talk about the divorce rate, there's statistics when the friends get divorced, that spouse is more likely to file for divorce. They follow suit. Narcissists can do that too. They want to be liked so much, or they're jealous of their divorced friend's freedom, jealous of the divorced friend's ability to have more money, to travel, whatever it is. There's jealousy. And you see that with the kids too. They see, look at mine, look at mine. You show one kid did a great job. I'm showing it off. So everybody has to, they don't follow the rules. They get out of their seat because they want attention to have their picture shown. And that's where the narcissist mindset goes. It just clicks into that childlike mentality where I need attention now. I don't care what the rules are. So whether it's the rules of your relationship, whether it's speeding to get to see their supply, or sometimes stealing, or taking advantage of people to get whatever it is they want. There's a lot of lying that goes on with these kids. I asked one, did you hit them? And it's like, no. And you know they did. They don't take the accountability. Even when you say you're not in trouble, I just need you to, tell the kid you're sorry and you're not going to do it again. Another kid I had was very adamant, very stubborn. He's sitting where he's not supposed to sit. So I asked him to go find a seat. He won't do it because I asked him. And he wants to sit where he wants to sit, just like the narcissist. They want to do what they want to do. They don't want to be told what rule to follow, where to go, what to do. And often too, narcissists break rules. Maybe they sneak into parks late at night. They do certain things that they shouldn't do. There's postings, hunting land that's private. Maybe they'll go hunt on somebody else's land that they shouldn't be on. Whatever they think they can get away with, they'll do. Just like kids. Some kids are super healthy. It's so sad. Some of these kids are so polite, so respectful, pay attention, stay on task. And then other kids, it's almost like you tell the story of what their home life is like. So our narcissist has that childlike mentality. It's taking what's not theirs. It's being destructive. It's being dismissive. It's going to the beat of their own drum, not following rules, outbursts, hitting. I had a kid hit me before, several times, but this week. And you tell them what the rules are, what the directions are, and they don't hear it. They don't hear it. And we repeat these things over and over and over again, where we're like, okay, we need to raise our hand if we want to say something. Yeah, that's right. We need to raise our hand before we say anything. And it's like, I just said, like, raise your hand. So can somebody tell me, yes, we need to raise our hand. Thank you for raising your hand and telling me that. And then they're like, yeah, that's exactly what we should do. She's right. And you're like, you're just not getting it. We tell them directly. We tell them 1,000 different ways. We have them practice it, just like our narcissists. They just don't get it. And sometimes we have a hard time. Like I told my narcissist to raise his hand. Why can't he do it? As an analogy. We tell the kids over and over again. You have to keep reminding them. You have to be patient. Some of them get it, some of them don't. But it's interesting to see the struggles on all these things. Right now, I'm teaching kindergarten through 4th grade art. So I see all the different levels of 5 to 9 years old, pretty much, some variations. But our narcissist, when we're talking to them, we see a grown person. And we're like, how did they not get it? And then you'll reason with the kids, like, you have to be quiet. There's other classes in session. We need to be respectful. We talk about standing in line, you know, follow the rules. They do it every day. We're in our 6th, 7th week of school now. They still don't get it. They still push and shove. They still have to be first. They cut in line. They push people just to get to whatever spot they want. And that's what the narcissist does. They push people out of their way. They do it in a more manipulative way where maybe they'll fool around with your timesheet, or they'll pop your tires, or whatever it is, to put you in a bad light or to get ahead of you. They do manipulative things. Some of it's subconscious, like these kids in school, they're not out to give me a terrible day, which it was. It was horrible. They're just doing what they're doing. They don't think that they're hurting me. And I've even said, I said it twice so far this year, I'm like, you guys are bullying me. You guys are bullying me. You're not being respectful, and you're just, you know, just damaging school items. You're not following the rules. You guys are bullying me. And, you know, some of them yell at me, some of them hit me, some of them throw things. And you get like 30 seconds of, I guess we might have been bullying her. 30 seconds is all it lasted, you know. Other kids, the kids that stayed quiet were the ones that were the respectful ones in the beginning. So something is going on that are causing certain kids to be fantastic, other ones to act out. Now I had these twins. It's a boy-girl twin, and he really wants to bond and stick by his sister. She wants to sit with the other girl, just a friend. So there's Rosa 222. So she's sitting with another girl, and he's really upset. And I asked him, just sit across from her. And he's not having it. He's crying, he's upset, and like pouting. And our narcissist sometimes does that. You know, they want what they want. And I'll be honest, like we cry too. We cry too. So some of these kid reactions are human reactions, you know, but it's narcissists can bond to us too, just like the brother and sister, the twins. Like there's a bond. They're kids. They can still bond with people. The narcissists, they can still bond with people, but it's how they interact is where it gets toxic, because it's like a child. And I notice, like talking to the other teachers, a lot of us are really kind. And some, like the gym teacher, he's like, I feel like I got to be a jerk. Like I have to be a jerk. It's outside of our character to talk so succinctly, so sternly, not angrily. It's a balance. But the nicer, this is, I want you guys to take this to heart. The nicer we are as teachers, the more we get screwed over by the kids. I try to have fun and play along and sit on the table. All hell breaks loose. I tried to take them out for a shadow thing, experiment type thing, drawing, tracing, and they just run to the playground. All hell breaks loose. They dismiss all the things. The nicer you are, the more things you give them. I try giving them suckers, you know, like, oh, congratulations, you guys just won suckers. You're being so good. As soon as they get the congratulations, you're being good, here's your trophy, here's your payoff, they disregard it. That's why the narcissist kind of sees marriage, or like marriage is like that sucker. I got what I wanted. Got what I wanted. Now I can do whatever I want. And how much working in the school system can make you see the mindset of a narcissist. The mindset of a narcissist. Another one, smacked a girl in the butt. Inappropriate. It was a boy smacking a girl's butt. They're oblivious to, like, that's inappropriate? Like, shouldn't do that. Same with the narcissist. My narc neighbors, one really struggles with grabbing girls' boobs. And he's like, what? She's in my house. It's like, it doesn't give you the right. And he keeps trying to defend it, just like a child would keep trying to defend whatever it is. And the lies you see from the kids, their stories that they tell, it is so narcissistic as far as if it came from a grown-up. So I'm not putting narcissism on these kids. They're still developing. The narcissist didn't continue to grow that part of their brain, the amygdala, that is responsible. Neurons and neurotransmitters are broken. I was watching something on CNN today about Alzheimer's. This might help you understand some things if you're struggling. Alzheimer's. How can't you remember? How do you forget things? How is it that you can't process? You can't remember your husband. You can't remember your kids. You're a grown person. And it's hard to comprehend, like, wait, what? But we kind of accept, somewhat understand, because we've accepted that Alzheimer's is where you lose your memory. But we're unwilling for some reason to say the narcissist either didn't develop or lost their ability for compassion, empathy. Some are empathetic to an extent, just like the people with Alzheimer's. They remember certain things, just like our narcissists. They remember certain things. You know, we also have to be careful with the selective memory of our narcissist. So Alzheimer's, that's something really hard to go through. And for any of you struggling with parents that are going through that, I know it's difficult, but it's a good analogy to see the memory of an Alzheimer's patient is dwindling or gone, or a lack of memory. And I saw another thing too, where lack of empathy. It's not zero empathy. And it was a great, I'll give him credit, Lee Hammock. The analogy he used is, I could have $100. That's a lack of money. Like, what's that really going to get me? I can't pay my mortgage. I'm adding to it. He just said $100. So $100, can't do much with it. So I have a lack of money, but I have some. I have some. It's not zero. Like a psychopath has zero. So some narcissists, as an analogy, this is mine, will have $500, $600, $700. But to be healthy, let's say you need, I don't know, $4,000, $3,000 a month, $2,500 a month. So some of them might have $600 of empathy, as an analogy. As a narcissist goes through life, they're going through life as a child. And then they turn into kind of like teenagers, where they're developing their independence. Teenagers love to get what they want, love to get, break boundaries, do whatever it is, get a little silly, dabble in things they probably shouldn't. And so a narcissist has experienced those parts of life. But when they get into adulthood, they meet up with us. We think they're on the same page. And so they went from child to teenager, and then they're out in this world. And they're like, whoa, I can control my finances. I can control where I work, when I go to bed, what I eat. Newfound freedom, newfound control. So they latch onto us. They make it seem like, yeah, we'll give and take. Of course, I'll let you cook dinner or pick where we're going because good, you pick the cheaper places usually or whatever it is. So we think that we're connecting. But as soon as they got that power, they're like, I like that power. And they remember to those childhood days of where I am teaching that they learn the manipulation tactics early. You know, they get what they want and they go to great extremes to do it. They learn to lie. They just get better at it. Like the kids that were lying about the punching. Like, I just got to make sure that I have the right facial expression, or if I don't laugh because I thought it was funny. That's the other thing too. Kids will laugh at those kind of things. You know, somebody gets hurt. Some are like, oh, he needs to go to the office, or can I go get him a Band-Aid? Some of them are really concerned. Others like laughing or purposely hurting, tripping. They purposely hurt each other and then deny it. They'll purposely physically harm and then deny it, just like abusive domestic violence. So I hope that helps you get inside the mind of the narcissist. Think of Alzheimer's, how the brain's just not working. And that's what it is with a narcissist with compassion. That's what it's like with remorse. It's just not there. Like, is the Alzheimer's patient going to go, oh my gosh, I feel so, I feel terrible. I don't remember my husband. They're going to look at it from their perspective. Like, why would I miss somebody I've never met? That's their brain. I never met this person. You're like, no, you were married to him. And the Alzheimer patient is probably not like, oh, okay, I can have sex with them. They're, depending on the person, they're probably going to be like, I don't even know that person. So we have to take the Alzheimer's patient as they are. And our narcissist, we have to realize that is who they are. And it's going to be abusive. It just is. Just me going to school tomorrow, put on my body armor, my mental armor. It's exhausting. And I've noticed, you know, it's different than a lot of jobs. It can be emotionally draining. I love my job. I love it. It's frustrating. And it kind of sets off some of my triggers sometimes too, where you're like, oh, why is this so difficult? And that's what we feel with a narcissist. Why is this so difficult? Why can't we just make it nice? And it's because we're dealing with kids. I've been a college professor. I taught criminal law. It was amazing. I love teaching adults. They listen. And eventually they will settle down. Sometimes they talk a little bit, but they usually settle down. My kindergarten class, that was very difficult. And once one little thing falls apart, everything goes to shit. It's real hard to get back together. And once you get it back together, it's going to fall apart again. Same with the relationship with a narcissist. Once one little thing falls apart, goes to shit, that downward spiral, hard to get it back together. It's got cracks all over it. The relationship's going to fall apart or implode. So I hope that was a good analogy and the mindset of the narcissist. At least they know their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, but they don't really know how to communicate. And when they do know how, they don't take the time. I got some really artistic students. Why bother? They don't want to do it right now. Just like the narcissist. Why bother communicating? They don't feel like it. Hope that helps. I'll see you in the next video. One-on-ones are available. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Topic requests are welcome.